Web applications are the backbone of the modern internet. They allow us to connect with friends, shop, bank, and so much more. Understanding how these applications work is crucial for understanding how to secure them. At their core, web applications are built on a client-server model. A client, like your web browser, requests information from a server. This request is sent over the internet using the HTTP protocol. The server, which stores the website's files and data, processes the request. It then sends back a response, typically in the form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which your browser renders into the web pages you see. This back-and-forth communication between client and server is the foundation of how web applications operate. However, this seemingly simple interaction is vulnerable to various security threats. Attackers are constantly finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities in this communication channel. By understanding the basic architecture of web applications, you can start to see where these vulnerabilities exist and how to protect against them. This understanding is the first step towards building and maintaining secure web applications. One common vulnerability is cross-site scripting, or XSS. In an XSS attack, malicious code, usually JavaScript, is injected into a website. This could happen if a website allows user input without proper sanitization. For example, imagine a comment section where users can post HTML. An attacker could insert a script that steals other users' cookies when they load the page. Another common vulnerability is SQL injection. Websites often use databases to store information like usernames and passwords. SQL injection targets these databases. Attackers exploit vulnerabilities in a website's code to insert malicious SQL commands. These commands can then be used to read, modify, or even delete data from the database. This can have devastating consequences, potentially leading to data breaches and identity theft. To prevent SQL injection, developers should use parameterized queries or prepared statements. These techniques ensure that user input is treated as data, not as executable code. Authentication, authorization, and session management are crucial aspects of web application security. Authentication is the process of verifying a user's identity. This is typically done with usernames and passwords, but other methods like two-factor authentication are becoming increasingly popular. Once a user is authenticated, authorization determines what resources they have access to. For example, a regular user might only be able to view their own profile, while an administrator has access to all user data. Session management is how a web application keeps track of a user's logged-in status. This is usually done with session IDs, which are unique identifiers stored in cookies on the user's computer. However, session IDs can be stolen, leading to account hijacking. To mitigate this risk, developers should use secure cookies, which are only transmitted over HTTPS. Additionally, session IDs should be invalidated when a user logs out or closes their browser. Input validation is a fundamental security practice that involves checking all user input before processing it. This prevents attackers from injecting malicious code or exploiting vulnerabilities in your application. Regularly updating your software is crucial. Updates often include security patches that address known vulnerabilities. The OWASP Top 10 is a list of the most critical web application security risks, providing developers with a clear understanding of the threats they face. Tools like Burp Suite are invaluable for security testing. Burp Suite allows you to intercept and modify traffic between your browser and a web application, making it possible to test for vulnerabilities. Finally, implement basic security headers like HTTP Strict Transport Security, HSTS, and Content Security Policy, CSP, to further enhance your website's security posture. These headers provide additional layers of protection against common attacks.